Well, howdy friends, and welcome to the 52nd episode of Stockshow Confidential. Hard to believe, isn't it? I'm Terry Jordan, and alongside me, the producer of our show, Ron McWilliams from Blazing Glory Productions.
Well, thank you, Terry, for having me. And let me tell you, it's been a ton of fun traveling the last few years. Over 150,000 miles and over 30 different venues.
That's right, Ron. And over 6 million viewers have tuned in to watch the show. And our So God Made a Stockshow Kid video, over 2 million views or shares in the first week alone.
That's amazing, and we want to thank everybody at home for watching that video. It's apparent everybody really liked it because we've also won the Best of the Barn's Best Production Crew 2 years in a row.
And you know, we were also recognized by the Texas Governor's Small Business Award, also an award from the Texas Sheep and Goat Raisers Association, and I recently got the opportunity to speak at one of the trade shows at the National Finals Rodeo.
I tell you, that's awesome. What an honor that must have been. It's obvious this show's been a great success for a lot of people and really great response from everybody. I don't know if it's because of the venues, maybe the people we talk to. I personally think everybody enjoys seeing the champions and hearing from the judges.
Well, on this episode, we're going to highlight the past 2 years, show you some of the great people, some of the great places that we've been. Stay tuned.
Okay, Terry, let's dive right into it. Location, location, location. Tell me your favorite location from this past few years.
I guess I'd have to say Denver. You know, whenever you talk about the yards, the cold weather, the scenery, everything that goes into that, it's such an awesome experience, from one of the greatest cattle shows any place to the Brown Hotel where they bring the grand champion animal back in. It is an awesome experience, and you ought to put it on your bucket list. If you've never been to the Denver National Western, you should go there if you're a livestock enthusiast.
The National Western Stock Show is unique with having the historic yards here and to continue to have the carload and pen shows of bulls.
Well, Terry, I agree with you 100%. Denver is an awesome venue, but I think the one that sticks out in my head has got to be the North American International Livestock Expo. Some people say NAIL, we like to call it NALI. Stands out for 3 reasons. First, Claude and Linda Brock. They're just the nicest people in the world, and you know as well as I do, they always make us feel so special when we walk into that place. I think second is just the amazing livestock. You go from one arena to a barn to another, and you just have so many options of livestock to view there. And I think third, what really got us excited the last few years is getting our opportunity to go see Churchill dance.
I'm sitting alongside Claude Brock, and he's Director of Media Operations here for the North American. Talk about the number of entries here at the North American International, because I know your entries are up this year.
They are indeed, and as we talk about maybe the breakdown in those entries, 24,700 this year, total entries, and we are up 300 over last year.
You have the opportunity to see so many different type of animals here, from llamas to La Mancha goats to dairy goats to, we're having a big dairy show obviously, and so there's just a wide array, even the horse show. So you can encompass the whole thing and get a grasp for rural America, what it's all about.
This show, this expo, has always fostered youth. We don't have a tomorrow without youth.
That's right. Claude, thanks for sitting down and talking with us. We always feel so welcome when we come to the North American.
Well, you should feel welcome, because I'd like to say to you that Stockshow Confidential is always welcome, because we appreciate and enjoy the professionalism and the knowledge that you all have, that you put to good work for agriculture.
On that, I'll shake your hand one more time. Thanks,
You betcha.
Claude.
All right.
All right. Okay, next on the list has got to be the Tennessee River Music Ranch. We went up and saw Randy Owen, country music legend. Got to swim in a waterfall, saw a great cattle sale there. Just an incredible experience.
Here to buy, I better give $18 here to 18 corn bird here to give $18 2. Now on 1, 2, and 1. Shoulders.
Well, I know that your music career has been stellar. and obviously you're taking the same approach towards your cattle. We hope you'll invite us back for year 30. It's been a pleasure.
I would really love, I would love that. I would love that.
Okay, Terry, now let's talk about one of both of our favorite venues, the Oklahoma Youth Expo.
Incredible experience. Whenever you go there, the people are great. Such an agricultural state, you know, and the award ceremony, second to none.
It is. It's such a proud state, and it always surprises me how well they make each one of those kiddos feel between all the scholarships they're giving away, plus, like you said, the amazing trophy presentation at the end.
Well, and one of the things that happened this past year was tornadoes devastated that country, and they are so proud. They bounced back like nothing ever happened. It was an incredible deal.
And their governor showed up, and it was a party on auction day like always.
It was. And who can forget about our trips to Iowa? The Sullivan family, I have a ton of respect for those guys, and they make us feel special every time that we show up.
Every person that we meet associated with the Sullivans are great people. And I'd like to give a special shout out to our boy, Roger Sullivan. If you don't know Roger Sullivan, you need to.
What a great event this is, and it's not just about raising money, but tomorrow we're going to see a lot of good cattle sold.
Oh yeah, and this year it's not even just shorthorns. You got a little bit of everything, but there'll be quite a few good ones that come through.
Well, John, I just want to say thank you for what you do for the livestock industry, for the youth of America, the Stockshow Youth program. Y'all giving out over 90 scholarships, 1,000. That's $90,000 that you've put back to the youth of America.
Hey, we love to do it. We love to get involved, and we like to. If we're doing well, we like to see other people doing well. So.
Well, again, thanks so much for being a loyal supporter of Stockshow Confidential, and we wish you continued success because I know you have a lot more years to go and continue to build your herd.
Hey, thanks for being in Dunlap with us this weekend, Terry.
Well, friends, that's just the tip of the iceberg, and it's a big iceberg. More coming at you right after this.
Sullivan Show Supply was established with the vision of producing more than just your ordinary show supply products. Whether it's fitting supplies you're looking for or the latest equipment, everything you need to make it into the winner's circle is right here. Don't just take it from me, take it from them. Sullivan Show Supply will be here before and after the sale.
Welcome back to Stockshow Confidential. I'm the producer of the show, Ron McWilliams, and y'all all know Mr. Terry Jordan here next to me. And now we're going to switch gears. We're going to talk, instead of talking about venues, we're going to talk about some of the champions we've seen at those venues. Now, Terry, tell me what champion sticks out in your mind?
We've seen our fair share of champions this past couple of years. One that really kind of comes to mind, Quattro Shire, 2012 winner at the Fort Worth Stock Show.
And our European Cross champion, entry number 2218, shown by Quattro R. Showell, FFA member from Beeville. So now, ladies and gentlemen, our judge will select our grand champion and reserve.
Our yellow prospect we just talked about, not much more you can say. Let's give him a round of applause. He's your champion.
Number 2218, shown by Quattro R. member from Beeville.
Now, what about Baylor Bonham?
You know, that goes back to Denver. What an outstanding young man Baylor Bonham is. A great family. They know good cattle. Really sticks out.
So your grand champion market meet comes on a class number 5. It is Exhibitor 6084 Baylor Bonham.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm standing here next to the winner, Mr. Baylor Bonham. He just won the Grand Champion steer here at the National Western. Now, Baylor, tell me a little bit, whenever he walked up and slapped that steer, what was the first thing that went through your mind?
I need to pass out.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, your Grand Champion winner here, Baylor. Congratulations, buddy.
Those are some great memories. Now, Terry, what about the Martin family?
You know, when you talk about Brian Martin show cattle, well, one thing comes to mind, winners. They are awesome in there. You know, Stock won reserve champion at Fort Worth, then also won the State Fair of Texas. His sister, Sage, repeated that this year.
Congratulations to you.
The only time that's ever happened for a brother and sister team to repeat year after year. And the second reason is, you know, Brian Martin recently had a terrible ski accident up in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and we keep them in our prayers and our thoughts continually.
Okay, Terry, now let's talk about a more recent champion, Destinee Johnson at the OIE.
Destinee was great to talk to, very personable young lady, and it shows that she spends a lot of time in the barns. Won Grand Champion Lamb and Grand Champion Market Goats. It's the only time it's ever happened in the OIE history.
Destinee, tell me what it was like to be the first person to ever win both of those events here at the OIE.
Hard work, it's hard while you're doing it, but when it comes to moments like this, it's worth every second of it. So, and you can't give up, because I've wanted to be in this Hummer for the 7 years I've been showing and didn't give up, and my first ride, look where it ended up.
All right, Terry, now let's talk about one of our champions from the Minnesota State Fair, Stephanie Krause.
Yes, a very heart-touching story. A young lady that faces adversity every day. She does it with a smile on her face, and she knows good cattle.
Well, friends, I'm with the Krause family here at the Minnesota State Fair, and well, you see the smiles on their faces. There's a reason for that. Stephanie, here to my right, just won the Grand Champion Steer, and it's not only been 1 year, that is 2 years in a row. How difficult is it for the family, and you know, whenever people roll in and they see that maybe something's just a little bit different here?
We tried to advocate for not only Stephanie, but all disabled kids. That's what she lives for every day.
Yeah.
And today in school, even here, she's got a quote-unquote a fan club.
Right.
And anybody's willing to step up and help her,
yeah.
You know, and that makes us feel good.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Stephanie Krause.
Okay, Terry, now I can't help but think of the Cobb family. Lindsay and Ian are just two prime examples of what your kids can become if they're raised around the agriculture industry.
That's right, Ron, two of the shining stars in our industry. Stay tuned, folks. We're going to be right back after these messages.
Stock Show Confidential is brought to you by the following sponsors: Sullivan Show Supply and Stock Show University, Sure Champ, Sunglow Feeds, 5 Star Ford, Justin Discount Boots and Cowboy Outfitters, EB Trailers, Liberson Livestock, and StockShowConfidential.com.
Well, welcome back to Stock Show Confidential. I'm your host, Terry Jordan. Alongside me, our producer, Ron McWilliams. Now, Ron, we're talking about some of the most memorable moments that we've had on Stock Show Confidential.
Stock Show Confidential has seen tons of success, and I think one of those reasons is due to all the celebrities, athletes, and politicians that we see on the show.
My favorite moments are whenever we get to see good music incorporated into the livestock industry.
Don't you know I've always loved you, even before there was time, and though you turn away, I tell you.
Hi, we're Little Texas, and you're watching Stock Show Confidential on RFD TV.
Don't you know I've always loved you.
Hi, I'm Red Stegall. Welcome to Stock Show Confidential. We're going to take a look at the role of youth in America's agriculture. And to take us on this wonderful journey and tell us all the stories is the host of our show, Mr. Terry Jordan. Terry, it's all yours, Cowboy.
Rolling down a backwoods, Tennessee Valley.
You know, Terry, I've been overwhelmed to see how much support the agriculture industry gets from their local politicians. We've seen senators, representatives, and even a governor on Stock Show Confidential.
That's right, Ron. It's one of the ways for politicians to gain insight into the agriculture industry within their state.
You know, I'm here with Don Arms, and he's been the host and the MC for the legislative show here at the OIE. Now, Don, talk about how the competition went here today.
Well, Terry, what we do, we get kids, of course, matched with their senator representatives. We start in the hog ring. Those people show in the hog ring, and then we may have some of the same in the sheep ring. The sheep are the next deal. We put the sheep ring together, and then we go to the cattle ring. We pick from each one of those species a champion in reserve.
I know with good representatives such as yourself, I'll see you in the winner's circle one more time.
Terry. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
You bet.
We're here with Governor Mary Fallin from the great state of Oklahoma. You know, as you can hear in the background, a lot of excitement here at the OYE.
The Expo itself raises money for scholarships, and we've been able to send over 1,000 of our students to colleges, which is one of my top goals, is having a more highly skilled, educated workforce. Of course, I got a little bit of a vested interest in this. My husband grew up as a fourth-generation farmer and rancher in the state of Oklahoma, and we still have our farm and ranch, and he showed animals. I've seen all of his pictures, you know, when he was a young boy showing his animals at the Youth Expo, and he was very involved as a star farmer in the FFA, and so it's an important program to me personally.
I want to personally thank you for taking time from your busy schedule to visit with Governor Fallin. It's always a pleasure. Good luck, and thank you very much.
Welcome to Oklahoma, and come back again.
We'll do that. Thank you.
Another thing I've enjoyed is meeting the athletes. We had the opportunity to interview Randy White at the State Fair of Texas. Hall of Fame football player, incredible guy, and a good advocate for the livestock and agricultural industry.
As you grew up as a youngster before the football career, did you ever show animals, do any of that kind of stuff?
No, I didn't, but I first drove a tractor when I was about 5 years old. My grandfather taught me how to drive a clutch when I was about 5 or 6 years old. That's where I learned how to drive, and was around more of the hunting and that angle of my grandfather had pigs, but we were eating them. We weren't showing them. We were feeding them and eating them.
Well, it's obvious that you did partake in some pigs a long time ago, so that's great. Well, hey, I appreciate you coming out. Thanks for seeing us.
Oh, thank you.
All right, friends, when we come back, time to talk about some of the people and places that we've met on the trail. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Sunglow Feeds, show ring proven. Their feeds have been developed over time to meet your animal's individual needs. One of the largest animal nutrition staffs and research programs in the world. The Sunglow product line blends nutritional technology with practical application to meet the unique needs of the show circuit. Sunglow Feeds and specialty products optimized by Showmaster for the look of a champion. Check them out, sunglowfeeds.com.
Be sure and check us out at StockshowConfidential.com and like us on Facebook. If you'd like to advertise on Stock Show Confidential, please contact me, Terry, at StockshowConfidential.com. Well, welcome back to Stock Show Confidential. I'm Terry Jordan. Alongside me is my producer, Ron McWilliams. Now, Ron, we've met some incredible people all across the country. What story comes to mind when we talk about some of the interesting things that we've seen or heard?
Well, I think instantly the first story that comes to my mind is when we got to go to San Antonio and meet the Blaylock family. One of the strongest families you'll ever meet.
Friends, I'm sitting here with two young men that are shining examples of what goes on in the livestock barns across the United States. I'm sitting alongside of White and Wes here, and guys, y'all are here at San Antonio showing pigs, right?
Yes, sir.
Anthony, what made you decide to get your kids into the livestock industry?
It's something we could do one-on-one, and soon, like with the steers, it's at least once a month, not twice. We go to summer shows. They're both members of TTLA, which is the Texas Junior Livestock Association.
Well, you know, I know you guys have been under a lot of pressure and a lot of stress here lately because your dad has a very serious illness, right?
Yes.
You want to tell me about that?
He has cancer.
Okay. What type of cancer is that?
Brain.
Talk about a legacy. I think their father has taught them discipline. He's a great disciplinarian, and he's taught them responsibility. You know, they're not spoiled. They know what it's like to get out there and work hard for what they have.
Tell my viewing audience how you guys have been able to overcome this adversity?
I made a rule of thumb to them was always finish what you start. So we started with livestock, so they're going to finish with the livestock.
We'd like to extend a very special thank you to the Blaylock family for allowing us to tell their story. You know, Anthony Blaylock lost his battle with brain cancer shortly after we filmed that episode at the age of 35.
You know, the Blaylocks were not the only family to really captivate our audience this year. I think a lot of it goes back to the Kennedy family that we met at the Oklahoma Youth Expo. Laura Kennedy was in the Murr Federal Building when it exploded 18 years ago.
Well, it's amazing, Ron, what families can go through and come back with such resolve and resilience in the livestock industry.
April 19th, 1995, like you hear so many people say, it was just a normal spring morning in Oklahoma.
I worked in the Federal Building, and Blake stayed downstairs in the daycare and was just working when it happened.
Right, you know, at 9:02, we heard the explosion there at the store.
We eventually got out of the building, and
it seemed like the very first thing I heard on TV was that there's been an explosion in front of the Federal Building. So I just told my boss, I said, I got to get down there.
This is going to sound strange, but we never actually saw like the front of the building. There were certain ways you couldn't go around, and
when we were at the church there waiting, you knew what the end result was going to be, but you know, you tried to hold on to as much hope as you could.
When they come get you, you knew what they were coming to get you for.
You know, every special story tugs at your heart. In 2012, while at the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo, we met a man by the name of Dick Walrath that turned an individual fortune into a contribution that's going to last for generations to come.
Dick, tell me about the scholarship programs that you've instituted.
About 15 years ago, I started running the stock shows and using buying the champions to as my part of giving back to the community. And I decided that I would set up my own educational foundation, and we did and have. We give away 142 $10,000 scholarships every year, 71 4-H and 71 FFA.
Well, Dick, thank you for taking time to visit with us, friends. If you want more information about Dick Walrath in the movie, you can always go to championranch.com. I know there will be some information there that will enlighten your heart a little bit. And again, God bless people like this. Without them, our stock show industry wouldn't be where it's at today. Thank you, Dick.
Well, friends, those are just some of the special moments that we've had on Stock Show Confidential the past 2 years. We'd like to extend a very special thank you to everyone that made it such a success and for their generosity and support. I'd like to extend a very special thank you to my producer, Ron McWilliams, and his staff. Also to the Cultivate Agency branded Spur. And who could do it without some great sponsors? Well, we've got some of the best. Sullivan Show Supply and Stock Show University. Sunglow, Sure Champ, EB Trailers, Justin Discount Boots, 5-Star Ford, and Luberson Livestock. Thanks for tuning in each and every week. More great shows coming at you. I'm Terry Jordan saying, here's hoping that we'll see you in the winner's circle.
Yeah, good job, Terry.
We've had a Hall of Fame football player as well as Murr.
What'd I say, Mir?
Murr.
Murr. Okay.
Murr Federal. Closed captioning brought to you by Stand Alone Feeds.